What if I told you that the greatest figure skater in the world, a guy who had literally never lost a competition in over 2 years, walked onto the Olympic ice completely mentally broken before his music even started? That's not a clickbait headline. That's exactly what happened to Ilia Malinin at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan. And what he said afterward, it changed the entire conversation around athlete mental health. So today, we're going deep on the story that most people only saw the surface of, the invisible battle that Ilia Malinin was fighting long before he ever set foot on that Olympic ice. Stay with me, because this one hits different. If you're newer to figure skating, here's a quick background on why this story matters so much. Ilia Malinin is 21 years old. He's nicknamed the Quad God, and that's not just a cool title. He earned it. He's the only skater in history to ever land the quad axel, the most difficult jump in figure skating, requiring 4.5 full revolutions in the air. He's a 3-time world champion, a 4-time US national champion, a 3-time Grand Prix final winner. The guy was basically untouchable. He arrived at Milano Cortina 2026 having been undefeated since late 2023. He helped Team USA win the Team Gold event. Everyone, and I mean everyone, expected him to walk away with the individual gold medal too. He was the story of these Olympics, the face of Team USA figure skating, the chosen one. And that right there was the beginning of the problem. February 13th, 2026, men's individual free skate final, Milan, Italy. Malinin came into the free skate leading by more than 5 points after the short program. The widespread assumption was that he'd back that up and run away with the gold. But from the very first jump, something was off. He bailed on 2 of his 4 opening quad attempts. Then came a pair of falls. He never got into his typical rhythm. The Quad God, the man who could land 6 different types of quadruple jumps, couldn't complete his own signature routine. He finished 8th out of the medals entirely. And what happened right after? He covered his face with his hands. He put his hands on his knees. He shook his head, trying to hold back tears. Malinin himself described what was going through his mind in those final moments before his music started. He told reporters that before the skate, he felt like all the traumatic moments of my life really just started flooding my head. Yahoo Sports. He said, so many eyes, so much attention, it really can get to you if you're not ready to fully embrace it. That may be one of the mistakes I made. I was not ready to handle it to the fullest extent. Healthline. This wasn't a physical failure. This was a mental collapse. And the internet and the media had a lot to say about it. 3 days after the collapse, Malinin posted something on Instagram that stopped the entire figure skating world in its tracks. He shared a video that juxtaposed his greatest victories, celebrating gold medals, landing perfect quads, with a black and white image of him sitting with his head in his hands. In the caption, it was raw. It was real. It's something you don't expect from a 21-year-old who had been presented to the world as basically invincible. He wrote, "On the world's biggest stage, those who appear the strongest may still be fighting invisible battles on the inside." He talked about how even your happiest memories can get tainted by the noise around you. He talked about online hate attacking the mind, about fear pulling you into darkness, about how it all builds up as these moments flash before your eyes, resulting in an inevitable crash. That phrase, an inevitable crash, hit people hard because here was arguably the most dominant figure skater on the planet telling the world, even I couldn't hold it together under this kind of pressure. The post also teased a documentary, a deeper version of the story coming February 21st, about how Ilia Malinin faced what he called insurmountable pressure through the years. Fans broke down in the comments, other athletes shared it, and suddenly the conversation wasn't about a loss anymore. It was about the very real mental health crisis happening inside elite sports. Here's where this story becomes something truly special. Because Ilia Malinin didn't disappear, he didn't give up, he didn't let the crash define him. At the 2026 World Figure Skating Championships in Prague, fans gave Ilia Malinin an incredibly loud and warm welcome when he took to the ice for warm-up, a clear sign that his popularity had not been diminished one bit by what happened in Milan. Malinin said before competing, "I think the main thing is how I feel on the inside, how I feel about myself." And then he went out and skated. He won his third consecutive World Figure Skating Championship title with a total score of 329.40, beating Japan's Yuma Kageyama and Shun Sato for the gold. The quad god was back, and this time he didn't need the hype. He didn't need NBC to crown him king. He just skated for himself. He also won the IOC Fair Play Award for the 2026 Winter Olympics, recognized globally for the grace and sportsmanship he showed even in his worst moment. Ilia Malinin's story isn't just a figure skating story. It's a story about what happens when we put human beings on impossible pedestals, when we forget that behind every jump, every spin, every perfect score, there's a real person fighting battles we cannot see. He called it his invisible battle, and by sharing it with the world, he made millions of people feel less alone in theirs. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this, and drop in the comments, do you think NBC and American media need to change how they cover athletes? I'll see you in the next one.